Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Beyond the Game. And the name of the game for this one is all about basketball. Not just any basketball, though, the league that any kid that's a bit lanky by middle school dreams about playing in arguably the most popular competition in North America, the NBA. Now, the 2025-2026 season, the 80th season, has finally tipped off. But before we get to do some chit-chat, here's basically what this show is gonna be about. Now, I won't spoil it, but we have two fantastic journalists here to talk about who's gonna lift the Larry O'Brien Trophy by June, who are the biggest contenders, etc., that kind of stuff. Now, is the East gonna be a threat at all? We'll talk oldies but goldies too, like LeBron and KD and maybe Steph. Speaking of KD, one of his new teammates is maybe one of the most exciting big men in the NBA. I'm talking about Alperen Sengun, of course. Can they win a title? We'll talk. And it's been drama over in LA with Kawhi Leonard's finances causing quite the uproar. It's been money. So we'll give you an outsider's perspective. Now, don't worry if you missed the first couple of NBA games on Tuesday. That's because, one, there's more than 1,230 matchups in total in a season. And reason number two, we got Peter Franks to recap the opening day action.
It was a famous night for Oklahoma City Thunder, who raised their first ever banner, received their first championship rings, and then went on to win what could be one of the games of the season, needing double overtime to beat the Rockets. Turkish superstar Alperen Sengun led the charge for Houston with 39 points, 11 rebounds and 7 assists. New boy Kevin Durant chipped in with 23 for a Rockets side aiming to win their first championship in 30 years. But in a game that saw the lead change 22 times, it showed the defending champs were up for the fight. Chet Holmgren hit 28 points, and MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander knocked down 35. Two of which were free throws to seal the one-point victory.
We realized we need to get better, even though we still won. It was ugly tonight, but I'd rather be ugly in a win than a loss for sure, so we'll take it.
The other game on opening night saw Golden State Warriors travel to the LA Lakers, who were without the legend that is LeBron James. He was out through injury. Up stepped Luka Doncic, who nailed 43 points, but apart from Austin Reeves, the Slovenian didn't have a lot of support. Leading by a point at half-time, Golden State blew the game open in the third quarter. Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry did most of the damage as the visitors drove home their advantage to win 119-109. So winning starts for Golden State and OKC, but with 81 regular season games for those teams still to go, it's very early days. Peter Franks, TRT World.
Early days indeed, and who better to talk to about the new season than two basketball journalist heroes of mine, Murathanoglu and Kaan. Thank you for coming to Beyond the Game.
Thank you for the invitation.
Of course, always. You can come here every week.
6 years ago, Kaan and I did here. Didn't
Yes, 6.
And
6 years ago, last time.
And it was a dream come true. This is another dream come true for me, talking about the NBA. Big opening day, all right? OKC against the Rockets. If you're a Rockets fan, are you kind of worried about how the game ended?
No. If I'm a Rockets fan, I'm very happy because as a lot of people were expecting, Kevin Durant is like a perfect fit. He didn't play perfect fit yesterday because a perfect fit doesn't go 1 out of 2, especially if you're Durant with 9.5 seconds left, or, he missed some shots. But as far as needs, big turnover, and then the foul on the last overtime. But he's a fit, and he's going to make things a lot easier for Alperen Sengun. That's obvious, because even though they play two bigs a lot, even though Amin Thompson is not a shooter or even a playmaker just yet, you get so much room when Durant is on the court. So I think it's going to make Alperen if he hits his shots similar to this, he doesn't have to hit it this much, the threes, he'll be all NBA.
Kaan, let me ask you about OKC. They were a little bit, they seemed a bit complacent because of that ring ceremony, right? Do you think they have what it takes to go back-to-back? I mean, no team has gone back-to-back since the Warriors.
Yeah.
They kind of seem like the Warriors. Do you think they get it done this season?
Well, it's a tough task, but they are favorites to do so because they are defending champs and they are expected to be better this year because their core is all young, especially Chet Holmgren. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the MVP and he played like an MVP. But in this game, don't forget that their second best player, Jalen Williams, didn't play. So looking at their core, Cason Wallace, much better player. AJ Mitchell, much better player. They've got all the other pieces like Aaron Wiggins came in and impacted the game. They've got bigs, they've got other scorers. And when, if you insert Jalen Williams here, because Jalen Williams is not a household name, but he's an All-NBA player. He's a great player. He was not playing. And they, as you said, they were complacent. I think they're even a bigger favorite this year to repeat, but being a champ is a tough task.
Yeah. I want to talk about a certain someone, Alperen Sengun. He's one of our favorite players in this channel. If we had to talk about him a little bit, I mean, after this summer, expectations were big. How much bigger are they now, Murathanoglu?
Well, he had an excellent Eurobasket, so everybody in Houston and the NBA was watching it. All the Houston newspapers and all the channels and everything was talking him, watching every game and making predictions about this upcoming year because they're expecting big things from him. Like I said, Durant's going to help him out a lot. It'll probably raise. He was 0 out of 4 yesterday in three-pointers, but for the last 3 seasons, he shot over 40%. So it's going to raise his assist total. Finney Smith, when he returns, if he returns good, like he was with the Lakers after he got traded, he's going to help a lot. The problem here is, and I think in time they will solve that, when you play the two bigs at times, not all the time, because both Adams and Alpi have very high basketball IQs. So they know how to play off each other, feed off each other. But sometimes, and that probably Amen Thompson, not that good player yet. I think he will be.
Yeah.
I think it's a blessing in disguise that he's able to play the big lineup as their point guard.
Yeah.
There was a 7-Eleven. Did you ever hear that?
Yeah.
It was like a drugstore or something.
Yeah.
If I'm 7-Eleven, I'm sponsoring the Rockets. 6'7" point guard, 6'11", 4 players next to him to start the game.
Jabari Parker Jr., Kevin Durant. They say he's 6'11", but he's more like 7 foot, really. I mean, come on.
I'm sure none of these guys are just at 6'11", but that's what they're listed. So that's how they go. And I think they'll be fine. Thompson's going to develop. They shot terrible 3, but so did. It was a problem for Houston also. So did the Rockets. If you take out Alpi's three-point shooting, as a team, they shot 19.4% from the 3.
About Alpi's shooting, I want to bring Kaan in a little bit. We were in Latvia together, right, watching Turkey, and it was amazing how his game was transferable to FIBA basketball, right? And it seems like even though they didn't win, even if they had won, there's a different fire under him. I mean, for Sengun, with this team, how much bigger can he play this season? Can he be MVP this year?
MVP is a little bit ambitious. Yeah. But as Murathanoglu said, all NBA is in question. Yeah. And we are talking about, let's not say first team All NBA, but second team All NBA is in question now. The thing is, you were talking about a fire. I think it's a nuclear reactor. It never ceases to calm down because Alperen is just that kind of a player. He's never satisfied with what he does and what his team does. So he'll be every win he gets, he wants to win one more. The thing is, the shooting yesterday was, I think, let's not get too much carried away.
Expected every game.
Let's not get too much carried away. But the thing is, as the season progresses, he'll be much more in the main hub of the offense. Because when the offense rotates around him, as we have seen with the Turkish national team, it's a much more efficient one. With Fred VanVleet's absence, they need Amen Thompson to be on the ball because without the ball, off the ball, Amen Thompson's effect is very little. So he needs to be on the ball. But when they get a balance with Amen Thompson and Alperen Sengun with the main hub of the offense, I think they'll have a much better balance. This is not a good spacing team. This is not a good ball handling team because they can't be, because they are so big. But they're so big. Yeah. The thing is, you have to disguise your limitations a bit and emphasize your bigness.
Yeah. And let's not forget, KD has never played with a player like Alperen Sengun throughout his career, arguably. But let's bring in the other teams in the NBA. And NBA fans are witnessing a never-before-seen parity in both champions and award winners. And we have a graphic about it, too. Now, the Thunder last year were the 7th team in the last 7 seasons to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. And look at this. It's safe to say foreign talent has cemented itself in the NBA. Let's count Joel Embiid as Cameroonian. And the last true American MVP was James Harden back in 2018. Now,
unbelievable, huh?
Yeah, I know. It's interesting to think about that. I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s. I did see Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki win MVPs, but right now...
But Steve Nash played in the NCAAs. I don't count him.
True.
But Dirk Nowitzki, I don't count Gilgeous Alexander, although he only played 1 year. Dirk Nowitzki, yes.
Let's talk about a guy who hasn't won the MVP for a long time, LeBron James. And it was quite weird to see him not play an opening day game, right? First time in 23 years. How much do you guys think that the Lakers are going to struggle until he comes back? Kaan, let's start with you.
Well, they struggled yesterday in the opening game. But the Golden State Warriors are a very good team. Let's not forget that.
Very well-rounded team.
Very well-rounded. And they got Al Horford is a very good fit with them, and Jonathan Kuminga, who had a great contract dispute over the summer, had a great game too. I think they're a good team. Let's not get too much carried away. But the thing is, other than Luka Doncic, who will be the second and third options? Austin Reeves had a good game, but they need LeBron James. LeBron James has transferred his game as to become the second option even before Doncic arrived. So they can't find the third or fourth options. They need LeBron James to be the second option, so Austin Reeves can drop back to the third option. I think they'll be much better after LeBron James comes back, but he's 40 and he'll be 41 very soon. Just around Christmas time, he'll be 41. But he's still one of the top, 10, 15 players of the NBA. Yeah. And this is just some unprecedented event, what we're witnessing. But as age progresses, some injuries might creep in too.
True. And Murat abi, seeing a player like Doncic start a season as a Laker, historically, it's always great to see those big, stars in a purple and gold shirt. For you, is his offensive capabilities enough in this day and age of the NBA?
Enough if he has right pieces around him. Yeah. Not enough on this Lakers team. No. You have to make some bold moves because the Lakers are just not a very good team. Mm-hmm. They don't have a very good big man rotation. Aiton's back to being Aiton, and it's only the first game. He did make one block. This is not a team you build around Luka. Yeah. Austin Reeves, until the game was out of reach, he was almost nowhere in sight. Mm-hmm. He's too much like Doncic. They're both defensive liabilities. You're not starting Marcus Smart, who looked like he's okay. So you have two guards that can be picked on anytime. Yeah. And you don't have the shot blocker back there. So you have to make, I would trade Austin Reeves. I thought they would trade it during the summer, but he didn't sign an extension. That makes it difficult. So,
yeah, I agree.
And LeBron, yes, Kaan is correct. He's top 10. I wouldn't even say 15. He's top 10 on offense. Yeah. On defense, he's bottom 50.
Well, when he's focused, he's still a good defensive player. Last year, for 2 months, he focused, but his energy is not enough for both sides of the ball now.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the season, almost 2 months. He played very good defense. We talked about it on programs, how much he's dedicated himself to defense. But like Kaan said, he couldn't keep it up because, he's 40. He's going to be 41 before the season finishes.
So maybe no MVPs out of the Lakers, but one of the strongest MVP candidates is Nikola Jokic. had an okay time at Eurobasket, and some people are saying this is maybe the best team that they've built around him and Murray. Do you guys think another title is in store this season for them?
Well, it's probably the deepest rotation that they've had.
I think in the it's a very similar team from the championship year, but some new blood being injected, like the Peyton Watson and Julian Strother they drafted. But it's quite the facsimile of the championship season, other than Michael Porter Jr. Replaced with Cam Johnson, because Bruce Brown came back, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray was there. The thing is, his second banana, his second option has not been good after the injury, Jamal Murray. But as we have heard during the training camp, he has been in the best shape of his life. So if that's true, I think we can say that this might be on paper, this might be the best Nuggets team that Jokic has played on.
It feels like we're always talking about Western Conference teams, right? Because they have like most
rightfully
of the
so.
conference teams. Yeah. But do you guys think anyone from the East is gonna break that stronghold they have?
Well, Mike Brown, you know, Thibs got Knicks to the finals, and they didn't like it. I mean, they were right. You can't change Thibs, okay? He's going to play 6.5 guys until they drop. And that won't probably get you past a couple of 7-game rounds, okay? Yeah. But Mike Brown, to me, is a question mark. Now, he's changing the whole structure. They have problem with heart, you know, injury. They'll be tough, but I mean,
tough enough to make it all the way.
Cleveland, if they didn't have this much pressure on them this season, because this is a one-season team. Yeah. They are way over the apron, second apron. So they'll give him one chance because no owner's going to pay all that luxury tax and fines, and so they have one chance, and that's going to build pressure on them. Yeah. And I don't know how they're going to react, because they are not a team that likes pressure from the games I watch. But this is, of course, a different type of pressure.
And, you know, other teams from the East, you have the likes of the Atlanta Hawks, the Boston Celtics, who do have that player, you know, Jason Tatum down with an Achilles tear. Do you think any of them will maybe
not those
provide?
Two.
No?
Orlando Magic.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, Atlanta will be improved, that's for sure. But as a title contender, that's too much to ask. But Orlando has a bright future, that's for sure. They've been an elite defensive team, but they had probably one of the worst shooting rosters in the NBA. But they added considerable shooting this year. Desmond Bane is a very, very good player as a secondary playmaker and as a volume shooter.
Does he move the needle, though?
I think so, because that's what they needed. And of course, don't forget that the most important players, Banchero and Franz Wagner, are still very young and they're still developing. But this might be a little bit too early for them to expect bigger things. But in the next 5 years, Orlando will always be in the conversation as one of the top teams in the East.
And I think we're kind of skipping the Philadelphia 76ers this year as
well.
We don't know who's going to be on the court for how long.
Well, we've seen that Joel Embiid played in a preseason game, only 17 minutes, but he looked very slim, very fit, very good. But his knees can never be trusted at the moment. But when he plays, he's an MVP caliber player. Will he play that level? Will he play more than 50 games, 40 games, 60 games? We just don't know.
And very quickly, let me get your very quick predictions for who's going to win this year.
The whole season? Or?
Yeah, the whole title. Larry O'Brien.
Denver Nuggets.
I'm going with Houston.
All right, we'll save this and get you on at the end of the season. But gentlemen, stick around. We do have another story. Let's talk about the Clippers a little bit. Now, the LA side have gone into their new season with a dark cloud hanging over their heads. They're still the subject of an NBA investigation into alleged flouting of the league's salary cap rules. And who's at the center of it? Their star player, Kawhi Leonard. But what exactly happened? Let's get Robin Adams to explain.
Kawhi Gate. It's the scandal that's been following the Los Angeles Clippers like a bad smell ever since the story broke last month.
Major drama and serious allegations surrounding the LA Clippers.
On Wednesday, podcaster Pablo Torre published a report that the Clippers circumvented the NBA's salary cap.
Kawhi Leonard, already on a maximum deal at the Clippers, is said to have profited handsomely from an irregular agreement with a fintech company which has since gone bankrupt. Aspiration, a digital bank, had a bunch of celebrity endorsers on their books, including the likes of multi-Grammy award-winning artist Drake, Robert Downey Jr., who you might remember from Iron Man, American model Cindy Crawford, Leonardo DiCaprio,
I'm the king of the world!
and, of course, Leonard, who was their biggest creditor. Details around the basketball star's $28 million deal only came to light when the company shut its doors this year. And there doesn't seem to be any record of Leonard actually doing any work for Aspiration. The Clippers' multi-billionaire owner Steve Ballmer reportedly pumped $50 million of his own money into Aspiration in 2021, shortly before the lucrative Leonard deal. The accusation is that it was a ploy to circumvent the league's salary cap conventions. Flouting those rules is a big no-no in the NBA, punishable by harsh sanctions.
My powers are very broad, a full range of financial penalties, draft picks, suspensions, etc. I have very broad powers in these situations.
Both Ballmer and Leonard say, we did nothing wrong.
Up front, I want to say one thing very clearly. We, the Clippers, have abided by the salary cap circumvention rules because that's the right thing to do.
It's old. This is all new to you guys. The company went bankrupt a while ago, so we already knew this was going to happen. So,
You were named as like the largest creditor in the bankruptcy filing, right? Did you actually get the money that was owed to you in the contract, or?
No. But the company went belly up. It was fraud, as everybody knows. If you want any more questions or more details about that company, you need to ask the owner or whoever else is involved in the fraud that went on.
The NBA is investigating, but one gets the sense that there'll be more uncomfortable questions for the LA Clippers to answer at every media engagement. Robert Adams, TRT World.
All right, great report there from Robin. Let me ask you guys, as an outside perspective, we're not in the U.S., right? We just watch basketball, watch the action. How much of a no-no is this from your eyes?
It's a big no-no.
Yeah.
It's a cardinal sin.
Yeah.
It's not just a no-no. It's not a grievance. It's not a small
slap
thing.
on the hand.
This is a cardinal sin.
This is a big test for, Adam Silver. Big test.
Yeah.
Malice at the Palace was the big test for David Stern, and he knocked it clean.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Sure.
Has anyone else gone into the stand since then?
No.
Oh, he finished off the Indiana Pacers, but he had to do it.
They kind of scared the Minnesota Timberwolves back in the day when they had under-the-table deals with players.
Joe Smith, drafting of Joe Smith.
But then why are teams trying this now? What's the whole...
I think it's not teams. I think it's individuals, you know. We love the Uncle Drew, but this Uncle Dennis, he's like Dennis the Menace, I think. He's asked a lot of things from a lot of teams. I think a big part of his breakup, Kawhi's breakup with the Spurs was the uncle. He wanted a part of the Lakers. It sold for $10 billion. If you got 5%, he's going to make $500 million more than Kawhi.
As people who commentate on the games, Kaan, we're on the other side of the world, right? We wake up pretty early to watch games. It's more of a passion than just, a pastime. Does it give a bad taste in your mouth when you even talk about the games at the end of the day?
Because this is just a great black mark on the integrity of the game, and because we watch the NBA because there's parity among all the teams. Los Angeles and New York are big cities. Oklahoma City and San Antonio and Memphis are small cities, but they, as we know, that they compete on the with the same rules. This is a big slap on that. But if the NBA just punishes this accordingly, you can believe that there'll always be some people that try to circumvent the rules, that they try to cheat. But we will know that they will be punished, so it will be okay. But I think this will not be resolved this season because there will be through investigation, there will be an arbitration. I think, and Adam Silver doesn't want this to affect this season, so this will be resolved in the next off season. But he has to punish this accordingly.
Yeah.
He has to punish this as a cardinal sin, not as a slap on the wrist.
This is going to affect the team in some way.
Yeah.
Especially, like Kaan said, and I think so also for the reason I just said before, it's not going to be solved this year, but it's always be a, a big thing hanging over that locker room. Harden, Leonard, how healthy are they? They're both capable of playing. They got a super experienced bench led by CP3. So if they stay healthy, I don't know if they can, because if everybody's healthy, series in the West tend to go 7 games. I don't know if they could overcome, 2 or 3 7-game series.
All right. Well, gentlemen, this was a dream come true for me. Thank you so much for joining Beyond the Game. And that's the way it is for this season in the NBA. Thanks so much for watching. And we'll see you at the end of the season to talk all about Denver's title, did you say? Yeah, we'll see. Bye-bye.
Let's see.
No, they could.
They could?